All right. Chat, you know what time it is. Stream time. Rare ranking stream. I haven't done a ranking stream in a good 5 or 6 months, but somebody brought up something pretty interesting in my Discord. They said to me, what's the strongest cover legendaries? And I thought even past that. I said, you know what? There are obviously some Ubers alongside the cover legendaries that are on like a higher plane of existence. We got like our regular Ubers, and then we got super Ubers. You guys know who I'm talking about. Mewtwo, you know, Darkrai back in the day. Those were some super Ubers. So I decided we're gonna put all of these together. I made this list. I basically pulled mad like random mons in here. There's definitely a strange lack of cohesion here. Like, there's a lot of the cover legendaries, but then I also put some random shit. Like, Shaymin-Sky I threw on this bitch because, you know, it was Ubers forever. It still is, technically. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Shaymin-Sky technically would be in Gen 9, but this shit's in purgatory forever. This is VGC only, right? Yeah, bro, this is VGC, bro. But yeah, I put all the cover guys. Suicune is on here because Suicune really be on a cover of a game, which is crazy. Can you imagine if they put Raikou on a game? I guess they did. And that, you know what I'm saying? GSC is jokes, though. GSC is jokes. Where's my goats, Pikachu and Eevee? Yo, you're right. I actually forgot about those guys. Yo, that's my bad. I actually forgot. What's Mega Gengar doing there? I just threw him there. I told you. I got some random arbitrary picks on there, which is why Pikachu and Eevee didn't make it, because I don't even have those games. You know I like to support local business. I say that all the time, and so I support the growing business that is Nintendo by buying their games. But I never bought Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, because that's a crazy game to buy. I'm not buying that shit. I remember when I found out that Eevee was getting a game, I was like, this might be the end. But if fortunately it was not the end. It was not the end, but I thought it was the end. I thought it was the end. Blunder, did you know Mega Gengar has legs? I mean, I didn't know, but I didn't not know. You know what I'm saying? Wrap your head around that. Where's Charizard? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No Charizard. Zygarde got a whole anime. I put Zygarde complete to represent all Zygardes. You can see that Mewtwo is also here, meant to represent both of the Mega Mewtwo forms. You might be wondering, okay, then why is there Primal Groudon and a Primal Kyogre and a Kyogre? Don't be asking all that. Tell me why the Kyurems are facing each other. Cinema. Blunder, you gotta cover that Monster Hunter pet mod in your Discord people keep talking about. What's it called? I've never played Monster Hunter. So like, it looks cool from like looking at funny stuff on Showdown, but I don't actually understand any of like the lore, or like I don't know who the mons are. So it's kind of wasted on me. I've never played the shit. Venusaur was on a cover. Yo, it says legendary in the title, doesn't it? So even though some of these guys aren't legendaries, like my good friend Mega Gengar, the way he moves is so legendary that it obviously belongs on this list. You know what I mean? Like some of these Pokemon, they just belong here. Lugia in the thumbnail fried me. Engagement successfully baited. Yo, they be hating on Lugia too much, but some of the greatest stall teams of all time utilized Lugia to great success. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate on Lugia. Toxic Hippo not on this list is wild. As I already told you guys before, y'all not really rocking with Lugia like that. Y'all not really with that. I'm sorry, not Lugia, Hippo. All this Toxic Hippo, the tournament's got you guys gassed up, but I know you guys don't really bring Hippowdon like that. But I bring Hippowdon like that. Where's Mega Mewtwo X? I told you, Mewtwo is all Mewtwo's. Alright. I got a strong list here. And we got some fraudulent Pokemon. The reason I streamed this instead of doing a video is because I figured there are definitely some Ubers on here that I haven't even seen as much. I might need the agency's input. And so I knew I would rather go live and hear some absolutely bollocks opinions from the agency and see what we would be able to put together. Darkrai the spin-off king, Pokepark Mystery Dungeon, and Ranger. Shaymin got a game too, right? Shaymin is Mystery Dungeon 2, right? It's 20 members if you host a Toxic Hippo tourney. Ain't no Toxic Hippo tourney. I'm gonna host a Old Megas tournament though, sometime this week, probably on Saturday. Please glaze Reshiram. I know he's ass, but he's so cool. Reshiram and Kyurem White are my two favorite, like legendary, cover legendary type shits. I would put those guys in S rank just because of my biased ranking, but competitively, PU. Both of those guys are making no waves. They making no noise. They're not doing a damn thing. But I'm telling you, as far as cool mons go, those guys are at the top. Especially Reshiram. And Kyurem White, you'd think Kyurem White would be the man if you look at the stats. Kyurem White's special attack is 170, right? And the speed is 95. Cap, I'm a real hippo enjoyer. I even got my accountant 28-year-old girlfriend watching Mr. Craw and sending me 5 hippo emojis in her goodnight text. Oh my goodness. This guy's winning. This guy gets hoes and loves Hippowdon. Wow. Aspire to be like this guy, bro. Strongest cover Pokemon is Shofu as Darmanitan on his old YouTube thumbnails. That was the OG days when you just had to apply a Pokemon over a background. No effects, no nothing. At least Kyurem White got banned. Poor Kyurem Black couldn't even get banned in Gen 7. Kyurem Black is disgusting to face in Gen 7. That shit was not even good back in the day when I played Gen 7 as current gen. Only retroactively, now that we're on to Gen 9, they went back and they made Kyurem Black viable in Gen 7. That shit pulls up with the Z free shock. Smacks everybody. Kyurem Black's allowed in Gen 6 and Gen 5 too. That shit is nonsensical. I'm not gonna hold you. Why is Kyurem Black running around in Gen 5? That shit's not even that crazy in Gen 5. But I still always thought it was broken. I remember when they unbanned it, I'm like, why is this shit back? Who decided this shit? Who decided bro should return? I used to run that shit on some drag mag. Like a real scrub. Alright, let's start with Dialga. Nobody uses Dialga after Gen 4 and Gen 5. It is what it is. Dialga is pretty cool though in Gen 5. I had a couple of Dialga teams. But when is the last time we really saw Dialga? What about Dialga Horse? Do people run Dialga Horse? They don't rerun in Dialga Horse. You know where they run Dialga Horse? They run that shit in UBERS. And any Pokemon that pulls up to UBERS means you're not actually shiced in regular Ubers. Which means Dialga's definitely not popping. Dialga Horse is dicks? Alright. Alright. Even in UBERS, this shit is not used? Ooh, that's a bad look. If in the Ubers tier for Uber rejects, you're not even getting usage, that just, like, damn, you're cooked. You're chopped. It's over. It's fucking over, bro. Alright, what is Mega Gengar doing there? Watch the first 5 minutes of my stream to find out the subjective ruling behind the list. We're gonna put this in He's Tough, but, and you know why? Because I don't want to hate on Dialga for its Gen 4 and Gen 5 moves. Arch Manning probably better than Dialga? Yo, you might be right, bro. Arch Aladon might be making more moves than Dialga in Big 2025. That's a hard pill to swallow. I'm telling you. It's a hard pill to swallow. Maybe I'm hating. I might be hating. Dialga's pretty fast, man. Bro called Dialga dialogue. That autocorrect is funny. Calling bro dialogue. Wait, but did you stop and consider something? Dialga on my wrist, and he's saying that your time's up. Alright. Next Pokemon. Giratina. Alright. Nah, let me put this shit back. No competitive Pokemon involved, just to look good. Which horse you riding? Pause. Dialga or Palkia Origin. Nah, I'm obviously pulling up on the Dialga horse. Palkia horse is fucking weird. Palkia horse look like the Trojan horse, you know? And regular Palkia, we don't even fuck with regular Palkia because what's it called? Hayden and co kept nicknaming bro penis head and dick head and shit and Wi-Fi battles and destroyed all of Palkia's clout. If you want to know why Palkia fell off, it's because of dudes like Hayden who were posting Wi-Fi battles with Palkia named Penis Head, and so everybody was like, "Nah, we not rocking with Palkia anymore." And that was it. So, you know, Palkia might be the first Uber to get truly bullied via social media, etc. It's kind of like a social commentary. We should maybe do something about it. I don't know. It's just something I thought of right now. The allegations actually destroyed Palkia's fucking life. First Pokemon to get cyber bullied out of being. I don't see no Palkias like that. Not like, actually though, in competitive at least, and I can't speak for Gen 4 because I don't play that shit. But Gen 5 Ubers I did play occasionally back in the day, and Palkia was great in that shit. What about past that? Surely people use Palkia horse, right? The bitch got 120 speed. Palkia's like that. I kind of like using Palkia. I know I was just roasting it like crazy, but I've never used Palkia and it not been good. When like spatial rend and all that shit has always put in mad work. I'm a big fan of that Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? This overall Palkia be putting in mad work. Like the stream if Palkia was cyberbullied, or if you have ever eaten the shrimp Alfredo from AutoZone. Why did you eat that, bro? There's only a few food items you can eat. There's only a few from like auto places or hardware places. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you right now, eating shrimp from the AutoZone, we may have to study your brain for science at a particular point. But yeah, Palkia is actually pretty valid. The more I think about it, Palkia has never done me wrong in any tournament format or any ladder format in Ubers. What are the allowed foods from AutoZone? I couldn't tell you, but like Home Depot, for example. You can get a hot dog from Home Depot. That shit will not kill you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But if you're at the AutoZone, why are you getting shrimp? You know that that's not even a 50-50 gamble. If you were to really weigh your options, you know there's like a 25% chance that you come out even feeling neutral to how you felt before you ate that shrimp. And that's just neutral. That's not even like you're feeling great. So the other 75% is you feel bad. You know those are the odds. But it just depends. Why is Darkrai here? I put Darkrai on there because Darkrai's been Ubers for too many generations. I feel bad for Buddy. And he deserves. Anyways, we're putting Palkia in S rank. Even though this is crazy glaze, this is a biased list. So you need to realize that it's a competitive list, as I am a champion. However, it's also a biased list, as some of these guys I've been rocking with for many years. It is what it is. Anyway, Suicune is going to absolute dicks. And it's not like Suicune is actually dicks, but as far as cover legendaries go, Suicune ain't with the rest of these guys. Suicune has never even been considered one time in Ubers. And I don't hate Suicune. I'm telling you, I don't hate it. Matter of fact, whoa, please click sub calm mind protect Scald more. Please click that shit. Please, please. In any case, I don't hate, but Ubers wise, bro's not doing nothing. Have I ever used Suicune in a tournament? I think I used it one time, Calm Mind Roar in Gen 6, and I got crit immediately, so that was cool. And then I never used Suicune again, because I was like, you know what can't get crit and does the same shit? Mega Slowbro, bitch. And so then I never used shit Suicune again. Went back to my Mega Slowbro, trusty. Mega Shell Armor in this bitch. Free wins every time. Suicune fell off after Scald vanished. When have we last seen Suicune? It's in Gen 9, correct? What does it do? Blunder got CTE playing competitive showdown. Please send him money. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, bro. Please fund my CTE treatment. Is crazy. I didn't get CTE playing Pokemon. Matter of fact, Pokemon cured my CTE. Fuck you. Gen 6 was when it was last OU. Nah, Suicune gets usage in Gen 7 OU, and in Gen 8 OU. It's only really on like one team each, but you know what I'm saying. Same shit in NU, but it turns electric. I see. It's actually good in lower tiers. I feel like I've never seen that shit used in any tournament. We've seen the Friezine Mountain Stream. Blunder, don't lie about your CTE. Yo, if anything, that proved the anti-CTE. I went so crazy in that tournament. What are you talking about? I was gonna win until my CTE kicked in at the end. And Friezine had some fucking impossible ending that only Small Ant knew how to fucking figure out. Fuck! Don't talk about Friezine's Mountain. I should have won that shit. I was ahead 30 minutes and then I fucking lost. that was very fun though. I need Frieza to host another one of those. Tell him to host another mountain, and I'm tapping in. Whenever part 2 is, I'm tapping in. I'm tapping in. Frieza Mountain part 1 was actually so fun, and I remember everybody telling me it was gonna take me 20 hours to beat it. Pieces of shite. Anyway, shout out to Suicune, man. It didn't last the test of time. Let's see. Mega Gengar's the best cover legendary. Like I said, list has some strange picks here and there. But if I like it, I gotta like it. And I like it. Darkrai and Genesect are there because they're tough. Like, Suicune is on here, but it's not moving like those two. Is Darkrai not on a game? Is Darkrai not on the cover of a game? Shut up, Parodic Blaziken. Blunder doesn't have CTE. He ate the Ratatouille from Harbor Freight and Subaru collab. Dude, stop. Stop putting these dishes that you know you can't risk. Y'all be out there getting stew. Y'all be out there getting stew from the AutoZone. And getting fucked up as a result. It's on Shadows of Aomia. I haven't played that shit. Whatever. Darkrai's tough, so I put him on here. It's competitive, by the way. So maybe I should change the title to Covered Legendaries plus Super Ubers. Because nobody can tell me what a Super Uber means. Because that's my own term. Alright, I'll change it to that. Like a fucking genius. Where's my Shadow Lugia? That shit hasn't been used since Ruby Destiny Reign of Legends. That Shadow Lugia and the baby Shadow Lugia. But yeah, Palkia Horse and Dialga Horse are included in those two. Where's Heatran and Cresselia? No, bitch. I'm not putting those two on there. Cress is a fraud, too. Cress be pulling up in RU and all that. Stop. Enough. Enough. Alright. Giratina. Giratina is so tough all the time. All the time. Every generation. He's a trailblazer of Pokemon. You know? One of the best. A lot of Pokemon can't do what Giratina does. Every generation, it's doing the same bullshit. A little Will-O-Wisp action, a little Dragon Tail action, a little rest occasionally. Stop talking about these fraud legends when Regigigas is not present right now. Shut the fuck up. My bad, man. I can't believe I forgot Regigigas, who BST-wise is absolutely a super legend. I rock with Regigigas. You guys know I fuck with Regigigas, so don't be in here talking about some where's Regigigas representation. I'm not putting that piece of shite in. If I had Regigigas on here, it would have to go in absolute dicks. Why would you want to see that? Shout out to my boy Noobish in the chat. Shout out Mikro, Jacqui, Kuzan. I'm seeing a lot of agents. Blunder, not a Sappy Seed fan. Bruh. Whatever. Let's see. Groudon's next up. Oh yeah, anyways, Giratina's an S rank because Giratina's unmatched. Giratina's been doing Giratina only things for too many years. Way too many years. Like I said, nobody's doing what Giratina does. Even to this day, it still has a unique, important role. Especially even in Gen 9. Because with Terra, it can do that Terra Steel Levitate nonsense. Wall whatever fairy types in front of you. Still hits hard. I can't speak for the fat-ass Giratina form. The one that clicks Rest and Dragon Tail. And Leftovers, the one on all fours. But I know that thing is amazing on, like, defensive teams. Palkia too high? I think you're right. I think Palkia might be here. After seeing how tough Giratina is and how he owns both of these frauds like anything. Also, these two had to wait forever to get their second form. Meanwhile, the boss Ben had his second form. So, by all the math that we just did together, get the fuck out of here, Palkia. You're going back down. I'm sorry to say. If Palkia didn't get cyberbullied by Haydun, though, and Folk, I'm telling you right now, it would maybe be an S rank. So if you ever want to think back to why Palkia is not as strong and famous as Palkia could be, just remember, it's because of 2010 plus Wi-Fi battles, calling it penis head and dick head and shit like that. And it completely crushed any momentum. Do we start back the Palkia wave? Bro, they turned him into a fucking centaur. They tried to restart the Palkia wave by turning him into a centaur. They turned him into a character from, what's that shit when I was in school? Like way back. What was that shit called? The fucking centaur. Percy Jackson. Why did they do that shit? Why they try to turn him into the Giga Chad Horse X fucking man centaur? Why'd they do that shit, bruh? Poor Palkia, man. They tried to start the wave back up. They're like, this is gonna do it. This is gonna do it. When we drop the centaur, nobody's gonna know what to do next. But for some reason, it didn't. And you know, a Pokemon going up to 120 speed and still not getting motion off of it, I don't think you guys understand how embarrassing that is. That's, man, that's crazy, bro. Seriously. There's nothing else to say about it. Maybe it wasn't the great time, but damn, that's an embarrassing, it's an embarrassing life. It's UBERS though. Horses don't stop, they keep going. Every Mon will be centaured by Gen 13. I gave Swave a Palkia O team and it cooked. That's what we're doing. We're talking about Palkia O ladder teams. Nice cap. Palkia Origin is just a worse Arceus water. Fuck you. Fuck you. Arceus is cheap. Arceus is gonna be in God of Pokemon rank, but we'll get to it when we get to it, because that shit's actually the cheapest Pokemon of all time. Arceus being able to Terra, despite holding onto a plate, that's an abomination by Game Freak. They need to go back and remove that from the game. Every legend here is just a worse Arceus. That's cap. Mega Ray's better than that pussyo. Arceus never got banned. He's also not moving like Calyrex Shadow back in the day. Calyrex Shadow was moving too evil back in the day. Add a tier above God of Pokemon for the undisputed best legendary and call it the Legend of Za. I need to make a video comparing all the goats again. Calyrex, Arceus, Rayquaza, Zacian back in the day, aka Gen 8, and then I guess Zygarde C, but we don't know about Zygarde C yet. He's banned in Gen 4, but I haven't played Gen 4 Ubers. But that's fair. But I haven't played that, bro. Why was it banned in Gen 4? E-Killer? Was that shit too broken? Since the only counter is like, what, Giratina and Skarm? What? How do they move in Gen 4 Ubers? Because I really never played that. I didn't know what competitive Pokemon was until Black and White 2. Gen 1 Mewtwo washes all. See, I knew somebody was gonna pull up here with that bullshit. Let me tell you something about that Gen 1 Mewtwo shit. Gen 1 already only has fucking 15 viable Mons. So taking the Mon with the equivalent of 1000 BST comparatively, I'm not glazing it anymore. Even if Mewtwo is the best in the pool of these of all those Gen 1 shitters, we off that. We off that 1996 shit. I'm a Mewtwo fan overall, but Mewtwo, they always be like, man, Mewtwo in Gen 1 though. What do you mean? You couldn't even use Mewtwo in Gen 1. So enough is enough. Mewtwo is an amazing, impressive Pokemon. But enough of the theory, man. Enough of the Wilt Chamberlain with no actual video footage. That's the way they talking about Mewtwo in Gen 1. Whole lot of, oh my god, Gen 1 Mewtwo was so crazy. Alright, Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. But it is what it is. If we go down the line, I remember Gen 4 Mewtwo clicking self-destruct, taunt, and other troll shit. He was tough like that. He was tough. And then Gen 6, the Mega Mewtwo's came out. Both Mega Mewtwo forms had some purpose. Mewtwo Y was way better than Mewtwo X overall, but like Y actually found pretty semi-consistent tournament play, but X was some bullshit. Overall, X was kind of a weird one to pick. Shout out my boy Garo for 27 months. W rage bait tier list idea. The share holders are most pleased. Me when I put the Mega Gengar on the video titled Cover Legendary. I'm renaming this to Super Ubers though. You guys remember Mew 3? You guys remember Mew 3? The fucking OG like LARP fake mon shit. I used to really think that shit was real. I used to really think you could the armored guy, yup, Mew 3. He had the full fucking set of armor. He was too tough. I used to, oh man. He literally is what Genesect looks like, more or less. A little different, actually. You know what I mean, though. But I used to really think the armored Mewtwo was real. I used to think you could get that guy in Melee. I used to think you could get that guy in fucking, Pokemon. I used to think that bitch was an Easter egg in every game. Man, shout out to Mewtwo, man. I mean, and Mew 3. What a legendary Pokemon. Overall, if we have to rank Mewtwo, even given the two forms and that Gen 1 Super Glaze, we'll put him in S rank because shit's actually not crazy good after that. But I know that Gen 1 Glaze is like eternal. And I know the Gen 1 Mewtwo super fans are willing to die behind their defense of this. Even though they're quoting 1996 scriptures. Again, this is some Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game with no video footage. But it's okay. Shout out to my boy Pyrotic Blaziken. So other than Mew 3 being Miles tier. Who is Miles the I had a dream? Is he that guy? Just a memory from a minute ago. Do you think we could rage bait people by putting Pachirisu in the thumbnail? Me when I drop my official VGC rankings and get canceled for having the worst competitive opinions of all time. Speaking of epic hoaxes, Zat Molkuno is a funny one from the manga. What the fuck? They had the triple combination LARP. That's crazy. I remember trying to get Toad in Super Smash Bros. Melee for a long time. I remember thinking in adventure mode or whatever, there's this little mission where you gotta kill all the Yoshis or whatever, and Peach and Toad are in the back running around, and I used to always think, oh yeah, if I just play this mission for like 10 more hours, Toad's about to pop out. Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, you already know I was a kid trying to figure out how to get those shits. I used to believe all those fake screenshots where it would show like 64 characters in Melee or whatever when I was in like, I don't know, like 2nd, 3rd grade. I used to be like, oh yeah, this is for sure real. Let me just keep playing. I was dumb as fuck. Ah, man, good times. Anyways, we'll put Mewtwo in S rank because again, whatever. Back in the day. Also, I saw the movie where Mewtwo killed Ash, and that was pretty crazy. And you guys know I've seen like 1% of all Pokemon media, probably less, probably like 0.5%. But I saw the Mewtwo movie, and I'm telling you, he was moving crazy. They actually showed us this movie when I was in school. Because I saw this shit as a kid in school, I remember. Like, when they wheel in the TV. Yeah, back when I was in school, a.k.a. the Stone Age. I know, but... I remember they showed us this shit. And I was like, damn. It's pretty intense. Mewtwo's mad tough. Why won't he show emotion like that? But... seeing Mewtwo kill a man when... I didn't even understand the concept of killing a man in like 2nd grade or whatever the fuck. That was pretty jarring. So, and Mewtwo did kill Ash, even if Ash didn't die. He still killed him, so don't forget. All that to say, we're putting Mewtwo right here in S rank. The tier list name suggestions that I made the boss has the power to make it. S tier shice maxing, agency approved, Blunder battler, CTC, CTE, Pokey aimed and missed. These are some nice names. CTC, CTE, we can do something good with that later on. That has potential. Well done. Zygarde also offed a person on screen. Y'all were putting me onto that Okidogi lore. That Ogerpon apparently killed Okidogi, and now there's like a shrine dedicated to Okidogi because Ogerpon fucking killed him. And then apparently Okidogi did not spin back at all while getting his ass beat by Okidogi. I mean, by Ogerpon. But yeah, that's some pretty heavy shit, man. I didn't know that Ogerpon is an assassin as well. Ogerpon killed all three? Wait, what? Shout out Shiny Wild. Get to the real boss. For any mark, I'm Freddy Darkrai. The fucking... That Black Link verse from the Cypher's too tough. Damn, it's almost been a year since the Cypher. It'll be a year in a couple weeks. I'll definitely have to spin back. The 1 year Cypher anniversary stream will be monumental. Don't forget. Mark your calendar, matter of fact. I didn't know Ogerpon killed all three of them. Jeez. That's pretty tough. Ogerpon might be the most demanding of the new legends. They jumped Ogre for the run back? Oh, really? They moved. Oh, duh. I didn't know they came back. And they beat Ogerpon up again. Alright. Anyways, Mewtwo's in S rank, which again, like I said, is mad cope, but whatever, Mewtwo guys. Groudon. Groudon is so tough. I don't care what anybody says about Groudon. Groudon's going to God of Pokemon. I don't care if Groudon, quote-unquote, fell off. I don't care if Koraidon and all that shit is out. Fuck all that new shit. Groudon has been around since, what? Gen 3? Oh my god, bro. This guy is a classic. This guy's a hero. This guy's usage back in the day was like 10 trillion usage. In Gen 7, if you're not using Groudon in Gen 7, get the fuck out of here, man. But he never did get banned from UBERS, so I probably have to put him in S rank. But he's better than these other guys. He's way better than the other two. Like, he's not even... I don't know. Groudon was the man, though. Groudon is still good, too, in Gen 9. That shit definitely didn't fall off. It's just been domesticated, as I famously described it before. Which is not its own fault, but the Spikes Will-O-Wisp shit, it's not it, bro. It's not it. I'm not dropping Groudon, man. As I said before, this is a biased list. And now that I think about it, Groudon is too shiced. Pokemon Sapphire, first Pokemon game I played. So I got Kyogre instead. But I could acknowledge Groudon's power. I was well aware of how shiced Groudon was. So, also, I have an amazing tournament game where my Groudon, Mega Groudon, clicked Rock Polish, and I clicked Eruption, Solar Beam, and HP Ice and killed every mon on the field. It was in some tournament top 8. It was such a satisfying 6-0. So I'm forever biased for using Sweeper Groudon. Big shots to Crosshair. The way I see it, Kyogre surrounded. What's under the ocean? That's right, more Earth. Well, if we're talking about Kyogre, the GOAT Kyogre is also a god of Pokemon. Because back in the day, Kyogre really ran UBERS like that for multiple gens. Now, it's not as dominant, even though it's still one of the most used UBERS. But back in the day, that guy was moving crazy. If you didn't play old UBERS, you might not remember. But Kyogre was nasty. Which one's better? I still think Kyogre's better overall. Especially in those older generations of UBERS, everything is Kyogre. Everything is Kyogre. Real ones remember Mixed Primal Ogre. I won a tournament game because I had a Mixed Primal Ogre. And I played this guy, and he had fucking Toxapex plus Chansey Stall. And I had Max Attack, Waterfall, Earthquake. Chansey got 2-hit KO'd by Waterfall, and the Max Attack Earthquake fucking destroyed Toxapex. I remember. I wish I could find that replay. I probably could find it if I really look for it, but mixed, don't sleep. Don't sleep on that mixed Kyogre. People forget that Primal Kyogre has, how much attack? I think it's 150? What's the special attack on that guy? What's the special attack on that guy? Do we know? Let me see if I can find my Kyogre ring. 180? What the fuck? I guess Groudon's the same shit then, right? Fucking Groudon. Piece of shit. Let's see where this shit is at. Alright, watch this game. I found it. This shit's old as fuck. It's from Gen 7, but you gotta see this. Look at Kyogre versus Chansey. I guess it was a muck, not a fucking. But I'm pretty sure that shit was able to 2-hit KO Chansey. Alright, let's see. Nah, see, look how strong this big bitch is. And then I flinched like a fucking boss. And then I clicked EQ on the Switch. And you guys know how fat Groudon is. But 150 attack is 150 attack. Look at that shit, 55.7%. So at that point, bro is going crazy. Even Arceus came in, still took a lot. Anyways, shit ended up sweeping because you can see the team doesn't really actually have switch-ins to those two moves. Point I'm trying to make is that strong shit, 150 is now weak, especially with Rain Boost. You don't expect Chansey to take that kind of damage. You don't expect Groudon's fat ass to take 55 from a fucking EQ from Kyogre. And then Ice Beam in the back, of course, to hit Zygarde, since Zygarde was a cornerstone of UBERS back then, right? That's a cheap-ass team. Gen 7 UBERS was really, really fun. I used to have some really cheap shit, especially with Z moves. I had fucking, like, Z Dark, Yveltal, and some other crazy cheap shit. I used to be moving crazy. What's the last move? Waterfall, EQ, Ice Beam. I want to say Thunder is the last move. But I don't remember, bro. It's been so long. But I feel like it would be Thunder, no? Because Skarmory, you don't wanna fucking Waterfall Skarm. So I assume it was just Thunder. I know Ice Beam was on it for sure. And then it's Max Attack, Waterfall, EQ, so those are the physical attacks. Because you don't need special attack investment when you're 180 base. Ice Beam was still gonna kill the Zygarde, and Thunder is still gonna kill the Skarm and hit the other ogres for the 2-hit KO. There's no reason not to run Thunder. That shit has 30% paralysis, so it's never a bad move to click. Even if you're wrong, you still have the chance to paralyze them. Which is why Kyogre's also cringe, because Thunder is OP. Basically what I'm saying is, Kyogre's the god of Pokemon, it's up there. Blunder, you see we're getting a ZA Mega Dimensions DLC announcement tomorrow. I did hear that there's going to be a trailer. So I will stream that tomorrow, for sure. We'll have a good time seeing the new stuff. Don't spoil whatever that is in the chat right now, if you know what's going to be revealed, because I don't want anyone to be spoiled that doesn't want to be spoiled, since this is a ranking stream, not a leak stream. But tomorrow I will go over the whatever's shown in the XY Dimensions trailer. I'm pretty hype, of course. Okay, so Kyogre's definitely up here. This shit's a legend. Ray, let's just put Ray up here. Let's just not beat around the bush. We know what this guy's capable of. This guy had his own format made. This guy's the best. What basis are we ranking them? Competitive performance plus overall, you know, dominance, plus if I really like them or dislike them as the final decider, you know, the most important. But Ray is surely the GOAT, right? Like, Ray should have its own tier. Surely, right? Perhaps I'll have to make a new tier for guys like Ray. But we'll see. I'll come back to it. Because I don't want to put these guys in their own tier between these two. Because even if they are, these guys were so tough in Gen 3 through 7 that I don't want to, you know, not give them the shine they deserve. Like, Ogre and Groudon were really like that. Even though this thing is quite literally the stupidest shit ever invented. Like, nothing is ever going to be this level. Ray is what? 180 attacking stats? And then it has an item, which is the funniest shit. Nah, Ray is actually disgusting. You know, the moves they gave Rayquaza in Gen 9 were absolutely hilarious. Stealth Rock and U-Turn. What possessed them to give those moves? Especially what possessed them to give it Stealth Rock? U-Turn is also nonsense because that was this big bitch hitting you with a U-Turn and getting out of there, but whatever. It gets rocks now too, which is funny. I used rocks Ray a few times. What do you even want him to get? I don't want him to get anything. He gets too much. They got rid of V-Create? Or did I make that up? Does he still V-Create? Did I make that up? Can it still V-Create in Gen 9? Or no? It lost it, I feel like. Why can it not V-Create anymore? Why did they take that back? Anyways, that was amazing. That was an amazing tech that it had for a few generations. I used to run Dragon Dance V-Create in Gen 7 on regular Ray, obviously, but him using V-Create made sense. He has a V. What was the justification for that bullshit? Why did they why did they give that guy V-Create? Where was the justification? I remember when Victini had Bolt Strike, that was mad cool too. And that shit had Fusion Bolt and Fusion Flare from Reshiram and Zekrom. Just an event move for fun. Yo, why isn't Pokemon having fun again like that? We need more nonsense event moves. We need more of this shit. We need it. They need to troll more and give us V-Create shit. Cause V-Create Ray is one of the coolest things ever. Even if that shit is dumb, that shit was epic at the same damn time. Same with Victini having all that Bolt Strike shit, I'm telling you. When's the last time they gave us a crazy event move? I'm trying to think back because this shit really was so long ago. What was the last really crazy event move or like something of that similar rollout? No, I don't mean like a strong signature move that dropped. We already have all those. V-Create Ray, was that really the last time? Battle Bond Greninja? That's a good one. Right, since that basically was some new shit that came out. Does that count? Eevee got his Z stuff? Okay, that's fair. Z Celebrate and all that. They need to stop. They need to bring back broken moves. Everybody write a letter to Game Freak and tell them to bring back some broken moves, not that weak shit. Anyways, Ray is the greatest Pokemon ever, so we gotta put that shit up here. Having an item is very funny. Successful troll. This is my favorite Uber, but this shit is garbage, so it's pretty hard for me to defend. I even did a video, 2 videos of this Pokemon in Ubers in Gen 9 because you know I like to shill. But this shit is really bad overall. It gets no usage ever. It's sad because I love this Pokemon. But this shit is not good, bro. So I have to put my own bias aside, even if I said this is a biased list. Like if this was up to me, this would be the god of Pokemon. I love Reshiram. He too tough. And his shiny is tough too. He got like gold tipped hands and things like purple fire or some bullshit. In any case, Reshiram's dicks as a Pokemon, so I think we may have to put it in not great. Cause that shit's bad, unfortunately. And I love this Pokemon. Dragon Dance Reshiram goes hard in Ranbats. That shit does go hard. Man, it's tough. Pokemon gonna do a V-Lone collab when they give Mad Guys V-Create? That's really genius, Jonathan. I'm gonna write that down and bring that up to Junichi and say, have you guys considered the V-Create X V-Lone collab that Pokemon's been missing? I think you might have cooked. We will not be giving you royalties either. Sorry. Anyways, Reshiram is buns. Even though, like I said, I love this Pokemon. It's too cool. I had a lot of success in Gen 9 using Scarf Reshiram. And then back in the day, I used to use various Life Orb and Specs Reshirams in Gen 5. And that shit was not good, but I love Reshiram. Would Reshiram be okay in OU? Fuck no, get out of here. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to knock that shit off. That Blue Flare and that Focus Blast. Shit going crazy. I guess Primarina can switch in. until I hit that Flare Blitz. No, Reshiram is... Stop disrespecting Reshiram. I think people don't understand the sheer bulk of some Ubers. And, like, that's another reason why they're broken. Like, Lugia, for example. Lugia's so fucking broken. I know I used to meme and say Lugia should be OU, but that shit is so broken when it comes to... What's it called? That shit is so broken when it comes to its defensive stats compared to how strong OU Pokemon are. It's not even close. Like, it's... Lugia's bulk is some abominable shit, really. Mewtwo at S is crazy work. I might have to put Mewtwo down here. Because Mewtwo really is living off that Wilt Chamberlain shit. He's not that crazy. But Mega Mewtwo Y is legit. X is kind of sus. I'll go back to Mewtwo. Koraidon. I'm not gonna hold you, man. Koraidon's only been around for one gen, so I'm not trying to glaze too hard, but Koraidon is broken and a defining mon in his generation, and will continue to be top 5 Ubers for the rest of his life. Probably. So, because 135 speed is like broken. So, I have to put him under Giratina though, because he's only been here for one gen. And Giratina the boss has been here for so many gens. So I gotta give it that superiority shit. You know? As I said, there are some slight biases here. And Giratina has helped me win some important tournament games. I never played a Gen 9 Ubers official tournament game. So Koraidon has only helped me on the ladder. So what I'm saying is, Koraidon helped me at the Park District to beat 55-year-olds. But Giratina really helped me when I was in the field. You know? Making my name. My reputation as the greatest. So, that's all to say. Koraidon, we do like, you know, your performance in the last few years, but we need to see more. We need to see more before we put you in that conversations. That's all I can say. That's the other reason Kyogre and Kyogre and Groudon are up there. Why does Koraidon have a better Sun ability than Groudon? That shit has the best ability ever. If we ever do a stream talking about best abilities of all time, and we really put like the real broken shit, Gen 9 is the gen of the double ability, right? Never forget. We got bullshit like Purifying Salt, which is 2 abilities, Orichalcum Pulse, which is 2 abilities, Sun plus attack boost. Where would we rank Orichalcum Pulse? That shit is so fucking crazy. Koraidon is like the first triple type LARP ass Pokemon, you know? Blunder, how about making a regular ass Ubers live after this? You know I love Ubers. What should I use? What would be a good pick if I did an Ubers video? Who are the streets trying to see? Which Uber does not get the representation that it so greatly deserves? You should use Kyurem? Which one? Definitely not no Kyurem normal. We're not with that normal shit. I only want one of the exotics. Kyurem white or black. Shout out to Sapphire for 22 months. My goat. Looking at Ubers reminds me, you should look at Zacian stats pre-nerfs between Gen 8 and 9. I think Gen 8 Zacian might be on the same level as Mega Ray. It is on the same level as Mega Ray. These are the big 3 of like being broken as fuck. I think these 3 are above and beyond. Again, I'm not taking that Gen 1 Mewtwo shit. That's some 1996 shit. I think these 3 are the greatest of all time. If you want to look at it from, what's it called? The performance. Miraidon is up there too, I guess. But Miraidon's the 4th. If I like Miraidon is here. If I had to Zacian Gen 8 was actually some stupid ass shit. Like Gen 8 Zacian was moving like Ray. But the thing is, Zacian can never do that again. That was confined to Gen 8. Mega Raymond might be back with the ability to use an item, which would mean it reclaims its spot as the greatest of all time. Also, without Terra, Calyrex takes a hit, even though Calyrex was broken for 2 generations. Low key. Blunder had that hit video, Zacian is better than Mega Ray. Thank you so much, Young T Snaggins, for for bringing that up. You know, that really means something to me that you remembered my hit journalism when I made that video, because I knew when I saw Mega Zacian and how he was moving with that behemoth blade and that what is Zacian speed? Like 148? It's some dumbass speed tier. Oh my god. Zacian is so goated, man. Mega Zacian. You know what I mean. Zacian with the super crown on. Base 148 and then amazing attack stat. Steel Fairy is historically the greatest type ever. Steel Fairy turns any Pokemon into LeBron James. God damn! What a Pokemon, man. What a Pokemon. That shit is really unfathomable. 148 a speed at that point was also like, what the fuck? Whenever I play UBERS, and I played a lot of Gen 9 UBERS, this generation I played a good amount of UBERS, I almost always ran Zacian. Like, of course, pre-Miraidon ban, I would always either have Miraidon or Koraidon. I think I ran Koraidon more than Mirai, even back when it was allowed, but Zacian was something that I had on every team, because how the fuck are you going to beat these two 135 speed guys without your own 148 speed guy? You know what I'm saying? Klefki LeBron James Jr. Klefki's the only one, and I guess regular Mawile, that do a disservice to the Fairy Steel typing. But even Klefki was viable in Gen 6 OU, so don't sleep. And Klefki was good in Gen 7 UU. I don't know what happened with Klefki past that. Shit's probably memes. Streets call me Behemoth Blood. Thank you for that high IQ message, Elslizo. We appreciate you a lot here. Why are there 600 viewers but only 187 likes? Thank you for bringing that up. Man, Chips, you're right. There's definitely an issue here with that number. We're going to need to get to at least half of the viewers. Get this to 300 likes. Tinkaton is a no, Tinkaton is amazing, bro. Tinkaton is a fantastic Pokemon in OU. Fairy Steels are really good, bro. Think about it. Magearna, Zacian, Mega Mawile, Crazymon. That typing overall is the best typing, I'm telling you. Even if some of the Pokemon are useless, that's because their BST is fucking useless. And that's, again, Mawile regular. Klefki is never truly useless. The ability and support moves help. And Tinkaton is just good in general. Unfortunately, this tier list is dicks. I'm sorry, bro. Send 5 members to change opinion. It's the only way you can get the outcome you want. Alright. Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is one of the greats. One of the greats. Truly. In fact, many did not heed my warning when I said that banning Miraidon would only make Ho-Oh stronger and more scary. Ho-Oh, with boots and the ability to Terra Grass, is really the devil when it comes to UBERS. This shit, cacaw. Boom. That's Ho-Oh 1v1ing all these bitches one by one if it wants to Terra on the appropriate turn. This shit has forced Zacian to have to use 100% wild charge usage as a result. Yo, this Pokemon is the GOAT. This shit is so... I'm putting this shit right here, man. This guy right here, man, is... This guy's so fucking OP. This shit was literally harder to beat than Miraidon. If it was up to me... this guy's right here. I actually think that this guy in Gen 9 UBERS is beyond, like, anything else. This shit is the god, bro. Shout out Johto in Milwaukee. Oh, I forgot Joey used Ho-Oh, and he was moving crazy with Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh is so fucking good, bro. Heavy duty boots is beyond overpowered, and then Terra is so overpowered on this shit. It's tough, man. Gen 5 Choice Banded Ho-Oh, that's a throwback. I remember. I even remember my boy had a team with that, and it had a Sash Espeon on it. But Blunder, it is up to you. Let's keep Ho-Oh at the top. Fear the old man in a profession where most die young. That was some real shit you just said. A lot of them come and go. A lot of them die. And I've seen a lot of them die. So from that breakdown, we're going to have to put Ho-Oh up here with the god of Pokemon. Some of you will disagree. You know what I'm saying? Some of you will say, Ho-Oh isn't this, and Ho-Oh isn't that. Shut the fuck up. Ho-Oh is beautiful. It's truly beautiful. And if they don't ever get rid of, what's it called, heavy duty boots, he's staying at the top. Free smoke, you know what I'm saying? Stay at the top like I'm stuck. That's just how I'm living it up. We're not taking Ho-Oh from the god of Pokemon. I don't care. Ho-Oh's Gen 9 performance is so phenomenal. It's so beautiful. And I'm so biased. Bro went live to make the worst tier list of all time. I respect it. My bad. Ho-Oh pre-regenerator was trash. When did it get regen? Gen 5 or Gen 6? It had it by Gen 5 or no? Putting this shit in God is crazy. I'm doing some insane glaze. Nah, but I'm putting this shit in S rank right here. I don't go fuck. It got it in 5, right? Okay. Yo, Ho-Oh's so tough, though. I don't want to put that shit in S rank with these pussios. Groudon dropped in 2022. This guy's 3 years old. You know how old Ho-Oh is? This guy's old as fuck. This guy's old as balls, man. He's from like 99. Comparatively. You know what? I'm putting bro right here. I won't be silenced. I know what Ho-Oh has done for me. Ho-Oh was in the first anime episode. He the eldest. Wait, what? I thought that shit dropped in Gen 2. So they made bro years in advance? Just knowing Ho-Oh was gonna drop down at some point? Wow. I know you guys did put me on to the fact that they tease Pokemon before they come out. Because I was watching Pokemon anime on stream, and you guys told me that Blaziken was shown on stream before he actually released as a Pokemon, right? I'm pretty certain you guys told me it was Blaziken, and then there were some other guys like that were shown in the anime before they officially came out. Kecleon. That shit is mad cool. That they would tease Pokemon like that and you just know that they're on the way. Imagine seeing Blaziken for the first time. And being like, what the fuck? That shit's on the way. Donphan too? Blunder, were you one of those 2009 that Ho owes me money, so I smacked her across the face pun enjoyers? No, bruh. I was not on that iFunny wave. I had some bad humor, but I didn't like Pokemon puns. In fact, every time I ever see any Pokemon joke, I have the fucking Derrick Rose LMAO meme where his face is like, I'll never forget on stream, everybody asked me to play like the old ass Pokemon rap, and they're like, this is the funniest shit ever. And I played it, and I was just like, wow, this was not funny. This was, that shit pissed me off. Pokemon jokes are so bad. Exactly. Vaporeon, ha ha ha. Oh my god. Diggersby, though, is the only good joke among a few other ones that were invented on YouTube and such. Did you see the Bulls game last night? Shit was crazy. The Bulls are the best! I knew when we got rid of when we surgically removed the cancer that was Zach LaVine, it was over. It was over. The Bulls are going to the moon. Place your parlay today. We can't be stopped. Fuck the 76ers. Alright, fourth quarter goob choke. Joel Embiid, fraud. Maxey, 39 points just to get packed up by the Bulls. Fraud. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The Bulls are going all the way this year. It's beautiful. Bulls are the 2015 Hawks. Fuck the Hawks. Trae Young has famously bullied my team when it matters. But, you know, whatever. The point I was trying to make is, before I started talking about ball, sorry, hearing about the Bulls, I got completely sidetracked by that. Typical delusional Bulls fans. Suck my balls. Why is Mewtwo that high? They be glazing Mewtwo, but honestly, I don't have that many of those Gen 1 Super Mewtwo dick riders, so I'll put that shit here because we can all agree that without that Wilt Chamberlain bias, it's not that crazy. Put him at the end. Let's see. Mewtwo was great in Gen 2 as well. Fine. It's hard for me to disrespect Mewtwo like this. This might be the fact that I'm not old enough to know what Mewtwo was really doing back then. And by the time I started playing Mons, Mewtwo was still decent, but, you know, whatever. This is my list. Mewtwo, stay at the back. Stay at the back of Heat Tough Butt, because you really weren't moving like Dialga, the Stealth Rock Demon. But Mewtwo was using Self-Destruct in Gen 4. You know what I'm saying? That was that double power. Oh no. Blunder, I'm about to send some Uber teams you not ready for. Bulk Up, Drain Punch, Scale Shot, Iron Head, Koraidon. You're right. I'm not ready for that at all. Keep that with you, homie. keep that over there. What about Palkia Horse Form? We talked about that already. When somebody asked, should we try to bring Palkia back? Palkia Horse Form was their attempt to Aura Form with Palkia. They thought, fuck it. We make this guy a super shy Centaur, everybody's gonna like Palkia again, and they're gonna stop calling it Dickhead. But it didn't work. It didn't work at all. In fact, it was one of the worst campaigns ever. On par with Year of Luigi, which famously lost Pokemon $700 million. Not Pokemon, Nintendo. Year of Luigi, which lost Nintendo $700 million. Never forget. That's why Luigi's not him. Shout out to Vitus3 for 17 months, the GOAT. 17 months since agency changed my life. Can you talk about Mega Ray versus Mega Zygarde, considering Mega Ray can hold the item? Sure, I can. And shout out, I want this fish right here. Put Dreamworld Necrosma on God tier for 17 minutes and 36 seconds and pretend as if nothing is wrong. Alright, let me start my timer. Let me what an insane what an insane request. The Necrozma that stands up has violated me too many times. I should put that shit. I'm about to put that shit in God of Pokemon. Because I've been violated the most by this Pokemon in my life. If I'm being serious. I think out of every UBERS Pokemon, this is the one where I'm like, fuck, I'm cooked. As for Mega Ray versus Mega Zygarde is going to honestly be like here or here when it comes to the most broken Pokemon of all time. Because while the move is busted and the speed stat is good, these guys all in front of it, well, these three have God speed, 135, 150, and then this is what, 148? And then Ray has 180 plus item, and then 115 speed, which is still high as fuck comparatively. When this dropped, this shit didn't exist, these three. So 115 at the time was that crazy speed. So, first off, I already gave my opinion. I don't expect Zygarde to be banned at all. With this Nihilite form, it's going to be great, but I don't expect it to get banned. So, I can't put him on the same par as the other four. It has the possibility to be broken. That's for damn sure. But the other four, like, I guess I've seen them in play, so obviously it's easier for me to defend like why those things were broken, but speed does matter a lot. And again, the Mega Zygarde has to be at 50%. We can't forget about that shit either. And Zygarde Mega used to be around, or not Zygarde Mega, fucking Complete Zygarde used to be around in Gen 7, where it was one of the best Pokemon, like a top 10 Pokemon at least. Probably closer to top 5 than 6 through 10, but the point I'm trying to make is it was still manageable, even despite being one of the better Pokemon. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Zygarde? Where should we put Zygarde? I never used it in UBERS that much. What are we thinking? He's good, but it isn't free. Yeah, it doesn't just auto sweep like that. I honestly want to put Kyogre higher than all these guys because of its consistency. It's just not broken compared to these shitters. It's just a consistent demon. We haven't even gotten to see Zygarde complete enough. I honestly think from Bro's performance, he's a S rank Mon. Even though We only got to see this shit in Gen 7 and then in like Nat Dex, UBERS type shit. This thing is too clutch. And we know Complete is back. So it's going to be a monster for UBERS to deal with again. Don't count bro out. Never count out this guy. It was in Gen 8. What was Zygarde's ranking in Gen 8? Like on the viability rankings. Was it a top 10 Pokemon? I assume it was. Alright, A rank. So maybe top 10, 15. Top 5? Oh, A, S. Yeah, see? Because I know in Generation 7 it's like probably like top 7 or 8. And then Gen 8, you guys are saying the same thing. It's up there, top 5. Zygarde's just too... You can never go wrong with this fucking bullshit double HP glare nonsense. That's why I think this is a S rank Pokemon. Even if it's only been around for a bit, it's like... Why did I... Yo. Even if he's only been around for a bit, this dude's a fucking titan of his game. And will be back. And will still glare and have leftovers and be cringe. So, I don't know. I think this guy's like right here. Shit probably better than Giratina low-key. It's just that Giratina been around longer and more shiced. This thing is going to be better than Mega. The complete form is going to be better than Mega. Let's see. Glare's a dumb move that should be removed. I agree. Glare's the worst move ever. Is OU ready for Genesect at this point, you think? I don't know. I think download's kind of broken, bro. I think download is just too much the more I think about it. And all of Genesect's moves are bullshit. It has every special move known to man, correct? Iron Head, U-turn is good physical. Is E-Speed gone? I know you guys told me that event moves got retconned or something. Is E-Speed gone? Is E-Speed Shift Gear and Blaze Kick? Is all that shit gone? Or is that still here? I need to find out, because that's pretty important stuff. Lost all of them and lost Rock Polish? Damn. That's pretty terrible, I'm not gonna lie. And E-Speed was the biggest blessing that Pokemon had. Because everybody remembers, the most broken Genesect was Choice Band. Because Adamant Choice Band E-Speed, I think it hits like 800 attack. With the Choice Band plus the download boost. So, shit was too strong with Band. You just click E-Speed and any neutral dies. That shit would OHKO like Thundurus and Latios and all them from 100%. It was like mad overpowered. But Genesect, we never even got a chance to really see Genesect in action. Except for in Gen 6 for a few months. X and Y OU had Genesect for a few months and then it got cooked. Gen 5, OU had it shit for a little bit, but like I don't even remember what that looked like, to be honest. I know Scarf was used a lot. Genesect is a classic in UBERS. Everybody loved Scarf Gen 5, UBERS Genesect. That shit was going crazy all the time. Scarf Ironhead was like one of the most spammed UBERS Pokemon. Yeah, Scarf Ironhead Genesect and Gen 5 UBERS. Everybody loved that shit. It was good too. Didn't Gen 7 have shiny Genesect for a bit? Gen 7 was quite a while ago. It was end of 2016 is when Gen 7 came out. But I think Genesect was not legal for maybe more than a week, if I had to guess. Because I played in the first Smogon Premier League for Gen 7. And Genesect was definitely not allowed. And that was only a month after game release. So if Genesect was around in Gen 7, it was probably only for like a week. If not, like a couple days at the most. Is Solgaleo okay for OU? I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm not like married to the idea of Solgaleo being overpowered. But I'm not like really crazy about it. Like the move pool that Solgaleo has is not amazing. I agree. And it doesn't have good boosting options either, unless you want to use that 113 special attack Calm Mind, but I think it's too bulky. And I don't think it adds anything good to the tier, which I think is something important to consider. I don't know. I'm not big on the drop or Solgaleo argument. I'm not against it though. Like if Solgaleo got tested, I would probably play a shit ton of battles to form my opinion. I can't like I really don't feel a type of way too much. I just am biased towards saying it's too overpowered because I know how bulky UBERS are. And a lot of the time, OU is not ready for that bulk. Even if the damage, like, the power creep has gone up so much, which it has every generation. Some of these bitches are too bulky for OU. But we'll see. Maybe Solgaleo is, like, the worst Uber, though. And could be an OU versus the rest. But we'll see. Anyways, talking about Genesect. Genesect is so tough, bro, but what happened to Genesect? Where's bro been? Let me look this up actually. Are people running around with Genesect? Is Genesect even back in the game? Is he in Gen 8? He is in Gen 8, right? Surely. Surely, right? Don't tell me he's not in Gen 8. I'm thinking back. I feel like I don't even remember him like that. I feel like he was. He was in Gen 8, right? But he wasn't used? I swear nobody has given me a Gen 8 team with a Genesect before. He was unusable? Oh my god, I didn't know he fell off. He used to be like decent in UBERS and was actually good in UBERS in Gen 5, but maybe that shit did fall off because that shit's too frail and doesn't have any like super strong stab move the way other UBERS have. Like when you got all this other like Behemoth Blade and all this other shit like that, Water Spout and all that, you can't just rely on your U-turn Iron Head bullshit even with download. Why Genesect's a cover legendary? It's not, but I added his bitch ass to the list because he's banned every generation, so I wanted to give it some showtime. Yo, I'm putting him here then because I like Reshiram a little bit more than Genesect. Genesect just can't do shit to Primal Groudon. Oh, you're right. Primal Groudon destroys that thing. Because what are you going to click? Ice Beam? For like 30%? That's fair. That's fair. Kyurem Black. Kyurem Black is a confusing mon. In fact, this shit is embarrassing because it's only banned because it got Dragon Dance. And yeah, that's really it. And then I guess Loaded Dice got introduced as well, but that was Gen 9. It was already broken in Gen 8 with DD. We don't see this in UBERS that much, even though it's not a bad Pokemon in my opinion. But I'm not going to hold you, bro. Being OU for 3 generations is super embarrassing when you consider your mans was always in UBERS. Not to mention, Reshiram and Zekrom, your little bros, were also always in UBERS. Yeah, you're right. It got Icicle Spear too. That was a big one. In fact, regular Kyurem got banned in Gen 8. So really, we can't even give this guy props for getting banned in Gen 8. Because regular Kyurem also revealed that it got broken with access to Icicle Spear. I'm not going to hold you, man. Kyurem Black is fucking washed. I have a good tournament team with this Pokemon, though. It's a great tournament team. You know, I love Kyurem Black. I told you guys that. One of my favorite Pokemon. He's so tough looking. Fusion Bolt. Ice Beam. The options are there. But these stats and being OU in Gen 5 and not even being a top 15 Pokemon? Bruh. Lacking. In Gen 6, he's also kind of ass. I'm not going to hold you. Gen 9, he's pretty good on hyper offense. So you can maybe say these two are dueling for the spot. But Genesect gets to take superiority because it's been banned for more generations than Kyurem. I'm telling you, those 3 gens of being OU despite being on the cover is crazy. To need Dragon Dance to get banned, but then your man's regular Kyurem also got banned, showing that you're not that impressive, buddy. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to put bro in not great because he's just not great. Kyurem White is my second favorite UBERS Pokemon. Potentially my favorite, depending on the day. But that shit is similarly not great. I've seen them use this guy in one particular way in Gen 9. With Utility Umbrella. To switch into Kyogre. That's when I knew this shit was fucking ass. What the fuck do you mean, Utility Umbrella? To switch into Water Spout. A move I already resist. That's how I know a Pokemon is straight cocks. So, as for the old generations, they had some specs and Scarf nonsense, which was pretty fun to troll. But I think Kyurem White is actually terrible. I can't speak for UBERS past Gen 5. I know in Gen 5 UBERS it wasn't bad. It because I used it occasionally. But past that, I don't know if it had any utility or usage whatsoever. Does anyone use this shit? Surely this thing was like... I know it's not that good, but it's still the strongest ice type special. Nah, nobody was using this guy? Alright. Kyurem Black is better now. So, but this guy was better. Nah, this guy was banned for mad generations. Meanwhile, Kyurem Black was OU, aka homeless, for like a decade. So, we're putting his ass in not great. Alright, Lugia. Everybody hates on big Lugia. In fact, I was hating, talking about some put Lugia in OU. But then I really stopped and used Lugia, and I was like, yeah, this shit is just too fat. It's like way too fat. Lugia's pretty bad though in a lot of different UBERS generations, I think. It's not great. I know in Gen 8 it's not good. In Gen 7 I don't think it's good either, to be honest. I think it always has some really tough competition, especially pre-boots. Actually, in Gen 7, I did have a fat team with it. I had some Mega Sableye shit in Gen 7. Bro has 90 special attack, but we're not talking about that offensive shit. We're talking about that Dragon Tail or that Whirlwind. Lugia's pretty hit or miss, though. I deadass put Lugia in not great. Because this shit is not great. Actually, that shit's tough in the old days, though. Alright, we'll put it here. This is a pity pick, though. I'm not gonna lie. Lugia's super weird. I don't know if I even want to put it this low, though. Boots really did help a lot. I'm happy. Boots repurposed a lot of shitters. And I like Stall and Ubers. It's pretty strong. This guy. Yo. I feel like nobody knows this guy. I feel like nobody knows Lunala. Chat, are there any real Lunala fans out there watching right now? I've always liked this guy. Bro using Moonblast. Bro got Shadow Shield. He's epic. VGC loves Lunala. Oh yes, they do. Moongeist Beam is one of the best moves ever. Hates to see knockoff coming. Hey, but at least Shadow Shield allows you to tank. This thing has always been pretty fun for me to use. I think when did the shit drop? Gen 7, right? When's this shit from? Or is this shit Gen 8? This shit is Sun and Moon, right? It's not that good in Sun and Moon, correct? If I'm not wrong. I think Solgalio's also not that good. Or is this thing good? Am I thinking of Solgaleo that's mid and this shit's good? I know Ultra Necrozma is like top 5 in Sun and Moon. I remember that much from back when I played. Both are mid. Solgalio's never been shiced. Necrozma Duskmane is the real top shot. That guy's a beast. I put him in S rank, honestly. This shit always puts in a shit ton of work for me. I don't care what nobody says. This shit's amazing. I love this shit. Solgalio's dicks. I think we may have to put him in dicks. This guy's so goated. I'm not gonna hold you. Blunder Solgaleo move pool is crazy with CC, EQ, Stonage, Wild Charge, Flare Blitz. That shit does have really good moves. And 137 attack. So yeah, people saying to unban it are bugging. This thing has base 77 speed, right? This thing is... Oh my god, this thing is so fucking confusing. Why does that thing have... It's some really bad speed, right? Okay. Lunala Necrozma guy is the bottom of dicks, bro. Is that shit actually dicks? I know it slows down, and that's a pretty big deal when you're trying to be offensive, but nah, that shit's definitely bad though. It would probably be a not great though before dicks, I feel like. Like I feel like that shit is like here. Sorry. Like here. As for regular bro has only been around for a few, but this thing's actually really damn solid in Gen 9 with Terra Fairy. People just lead that shit and they trade. Or they run, what's it called? Fucking Power Herb, Meteor Beam. That's a set people love because Ho-Oh has 400,000% usage in fucking UBERS. But I mean, Lunala always stays pretty consistent. I'd probably put that shit at like this. It's only been a few generations with this guy though, so let me not glaze too hard. Shit's mad good though. In all 3 generations, it's been pretty good. I might have to come back. That shit might be at the top of tough rather than S rank. It is really good though in Gen 7, and it's also really good in Gen 9. Gen 8, it's also still pretty solid, like top 20. So I guess it would technically be here. I'll come back and see if I'm biased. Xerneas is the fucking GOAT, bruh. But somehow, even with the most broken move of all time, bro never got banned, which is low-key unimpressive, I'm not gonna lie. And when we saw Geomancy for the first time, it had everybody beyond shocked. And it had me beyond shocked too, because what the fuck was that? Xerneas was really cringe in Gen 6. I'm not gonna hold you. I really hated playing against that shit every time. Even if you knew what it's gonna do, how does that help you if it's still getting +2, +2, +2? That shit could have Thunder, Hidden Power Rock, Hidden Power Fire, Focus Blast. God damn it. Shit was crazy. I even remember somebody ran a Scarf Xerneas with Moonblast, Close Combat, because it has 130 attack. And then it had Aromatherapy as its last move. Like, bro, that's like Iron Valiant before Valiant. Moonblast and Close Combat, bro. Like who is this guy? This guy's banned in Natdex Ubers? Really? He's shiced for that. What was he doing in there that was so broken? What was he... How was that bastard getting down? Terra Electric Geomancy? That'll fucking do it. That'll fucking do it. Anyways, this is a god of Pokemon. This is like here, bro. This guy's fucking legendary, bro. No pun intended. Yeah, man. This guy's obviously fucked. It's funny that Xerneas learns Outrage in Close Combat by level up. That shit gets Mega Horn too. That shit gets Mega Horn too. Let me not forget. This was one of the most annoying Pokemon to have to battle against, though, in generations 6 through 8. Like, it was really awful to have to play this shit, especially in 6. 6 was cancer with this, because people would run, like, fucking the debond Gengar or whatever to trap, like, the one thing. Man. Kyogre's always been good. Yeah, Kyogre's too consistent. But guys, Xern was centralizing the metagame like crazy. Like crazy. Xern had a choke on the metagame. Like seriously. Even if you knew the set, it still kind of fell broken. That was one of those Pokemon that, for me at least, Xern was one of those Uber Pokemon that it felt like one of those early, oh shit, we're now getting Pokemon that are too annoying for Ubers. And then of course Mega Ray was like above all of them, but you know what I mean. And then yeah, the shit didn't return to Gen 9, fortunately. In Gen 9, would it have been banned from Gen 9 Ubers? I feel like that shit would have been banned from Gen 9 Ubers. How would that shit not auto-win every game with Terra in Gen 9? There's no chance. That shit would have been gone in a week, right? There's no fucking way with Terra it's not beyond overpowered. Shit's like way too overpowered, honestly. Because Fairy is also the best type in the game. You would actually run Terra Blast Ground, right? Yeah. Yeah. That shit would be so nonsense. This thing, yeah, it would have just been an auto ban. Like, there's actually no way you can even defend this. Because this shit only ever needed to be pure Fairy type. Given that shit 2 types is... fuck out of here. Geomancy should lower SpDef instead of increasing. Geomancy should... A lot of things need to change about Geomancy, bro. But yeah, the fact that Xern has never been banned means I'm going to put it below Miraidon. But if I'm being realistic, this guy's low-key better than Mirai. And Mirai ban is also questionable. So, questionable meaning it was banned by noobs. So, I don't know. I might have to put bro ahead, even if one guy was banned and one wasn't. Where's Marshadow? I probably should have added Marshadow, right? Marshadow had a reign of terror in Ubers. Trust Geomancy needs a buff? FBI, investigate this guy asking for a buff to Geomancy. What's this guy talking about, man? Isn't this only box legends, though? Nah, I have some fraud on here. Like, Genesect isn't on any game cover, but I'd be frauding. I just put some of my faves on here that are trapped in Ubers. I wanted to give them some representation. Alright, Xerneas is in God of Pokemon, because that shit is a unique, one-of-a-kind god Pokemon. There's really no other way of describing it. Let's talk about Yveltal, alright? Let's talk about Yveltal. This guy's pretty interesting. Kind of overshadowed by Xerneas when Gen 6 dropped, but still top 10 in Gen 6 if you ask me. Gen 7, this thing is top 3. This shit might even be top 2, depending on who you ask. Primal Groudon is, of course, the best in Gen 7, but Yveltal might be the second best, if not Duskmane, Necrozma. But this guy's a fucking legend defensively. Yeah, this guy's a beautiful work of art, man. Yveltal, thank you for all you've done for us. Seriously. Thank you. As for Gen 8, Yveltal is also at the fucking top of the game. This guy carries everything. He's so tough. He's so tough. You're right. He's actually so tough. Matter of fact, Dark Aura puts this guy in that god territory. Mirai, even if Mirai got banned, I don't care, bro. He a merchant. He a one generation merchant, and he also got banned by salty noobs. All right. That Miraidon ban is kind of sus. I'm telling you right now, that Miraidon ban is kind of sus. So I'm gonna have to put Yveltal here. But then again, Yveltal's only been here for 3 generations, and it wasn't moving like Xerneas was with Geomancy auto win. So I'll actually put it right here and put that shit in God of Pokemon. You gotta understand, Calyrex only got banned because Yveltal wasn't there to stop him. And even if Terra would still handle it. Blunder smoking something for thinking Miraidon ain't busted. Well, UBERS still sucks, even with Miraidon banned, so obviously it wasn't the right thing to do, in my opinion. I think it's pretty open and shut. If banning something doesn't improve the tier like a good amount, that shit was a waste of time. And UBERS still sucks, so that's just my opinion, though. You can cancel me for it. It's just my stupid opinion, though. Alright. Zekrom. I liked using Zekrom a lot back in the day. I still think it's good with Dragon Dance. I still think it's really solid with Dragon Dance. What is Zekrom versus QB in UBERS? Which one gets used more? I swear I used to use this guy a lot and win with it. Like on screens. On some bullshit, you know? Zekrom gets used more because Terravolt. Oh, facts. Terravolt is big. Only thing bad about Zekrom is that Bolt Strike misses. Don't hate on Zama C. That guy was better than peak Suicune. I know, I kind of put bro there just to troll. He's better than Suicune. Let me not hate. Let me not hate so drastically. He's probably better than Solgaleo too. Counter Ho-Oh helps a lot. This shit does have good defense. Zekrom. I actually like Zekrom. I would actually put this guy like here, which is definitely super biased, but I don't know. I'll be using Zekrom a lot. I even used to use that mixed Zekrom. I'm not with all that Lugia Dragon Tail shit. Why is Reshiram not in Absolute Dicks? Reshiram is not in Absolute Dicks because it's my top 2 favorite UBERS Pokemon, so I used the Blunder bias get out of jail free card and allowed Reshiram to stay in not great. You're right though. Reshiram is pretty fucking terrible. I did say that though a lot of times. I wanted to defend bro, as I'm a huge fan of that Pokemon. You know, getting Pokemon White or Pokemon Black, whichever one had this shit on the cover, that's the game I got. So, you know, I knew I wanted the Reshiram game. Darkrai. I only put Darkrai on here. I know Darkrai is on no covers. I know. But I put Darkrai on here because Darkrai's been banned for so many generations, right? Only Gen 9 did we finally get Darkrai back. And Sleep is banned, so We don't even get to use the real Darkrai. You know what I'm saying? That was my first legendary Reshiram. That wasn't my first legendary. I think my first legendary was Kyogre and Sapphire, but Reshiram was like, I was looking forward to that legendary. Like I was awaiting. I was in 6th grade when Black and White 2 came out, or Black and White came out, I think, in America. I think in 2011 I was in 6th grade. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is I remember actively waiting on Reshiram's drop. I remember my pops got the game for me at the time. Good times, man. Anyways, that was a beautiful, heartfelt, touching story about Reshiram. It was really personal. It took a lot for me to admit that story. Chat, right now, in the chat, tell me your first legendary. I gotta know. It doesn't have to be your like actual first legendary, but who was the first legendary that you truly felt that special connection with? You know what I'm saying? You had to catch, bro. You had to catch, but you just had to have, bro. There was no question about it. No question about it. Shout out to Skyclad. Yes, that was the story of the month. I see a lot of Dialgas and Kyogres. I like that. Xerneas? You're a nasty guy. Damn. That's like the purest hit of crack. If the first legend you had was Zern, everybody else must have paled in comparison. Reshiram, I like to see the Reshiram enjoyers out here, man. Raikou was so tough. I've always liked Raikou. Even though Raikou's bad competitively, I always loved Raikou. Tried to make that shit work many times too. Nice Aura Sphere. Guy had some moves on him with the event. Articuno back in 98. Oh, you're a legend. You got one of them rare picks. I always appreciated the birds. I like almost every every legendary Pokemon design though. Mew glitch. Mine was Zygarde in X and Y. Wasted 80 Ultra Balls on it. It was worth it. It was worth it. Ho-Oh for me. Ho-Oh was always one of the top 3 legends for me, but I didn't have a game that could have Ho-Oh. I only had Sapphire, and then I didn't have Fire Red, Leaf Green. If Ho-Oh's in that shit, I don't remember if it is. I didn't have Heart Gold, Soul Silver, but I had Platinum. Another game where Ho-Oh's not in. And then I had Gen 5 where Ho-Oh's also not in. So I remember I was like, damn, how the fuck do I get Ho-Oh? Eventually, I traded or scammed somebody for it at my, you know the way I was moving. Remember the stream where you made us dono $100 to move Raikou down tier? I didn't make anybody do that. I just said the only way Raikou would ever get demoted is if something of that sort happened, and then it happened. Because everybody hates Raikou. That was a crazy stream. I need to go back and find that. Thank you for reminding me of that, Crosshair. That's when I knew some people really do hate past legends. There are real haters out there. Matter of fact, I'm putting Zamazenta up here. The only way to drop it is to send 10 numbers. I'm joking, of course. But no, I do remember when I was going through the mythical joints and Raikou took a stray. Raikou was good, though. Alright, Raikou was actually legit in Gen 6 OU. I used it for a good year and a half. That's longer than a lot of guys get. And then Gen 7 through 9, bro, is non-existent. Shout out Pyrotic Blaziken for the 5. Had to dip for work, but gonna order the BBQ ribs from Radio Shack. Don't do it. Should I get the Urban Palm C batteries or the Cajun, the BBQ ribs from Radio Shack? You know what? Never mind. On everybody's soul, we're getting the BBQ ribs from Radio Shack. And the odds, probably 20% chance that you have a good meal. 80% that you fucking die. But hey, gambling is gambling. ABR beat triangles in tournament on your stream with Raikou the next day. Whoa, I'm not talking about Gen 3 and Gen 4. Raikou is a known beast in those. And not even to talk about Gen 2, where Raikou is really a god. Of course, old Gen Raikou is a fucking legend. Old generation Raikou is the greatest an electric type that is a sole electric type has ever been. Nobody has ever been on that level of old Gen Raikou. At least as far as pure electric type goes. But anyways, we're talking too much about Raikou. Shit's ass. But respect to my guy. He be Volt switching. He used to run Assault Vest. And then in Gen 4, I did have one Calm Mind team from BKC, which helped me win a tournament. Bro used to run that HP Grass for Swampert back in the day. Alright, Rai. Nobody was using Rai past like Gen 5 Ubers. Am I wrong? What about Gen 4 Ubers? Wait, I'm lying, because in Gen 6, I used to spam this guy. I used to spam the fuck out of this guy in Gen 6. So I know he was still good for a while. I remember I used to spam Sash on this guy. I know he was good in Gen 6 Ubers. 6 is its best? Okay. Okay. God tier is overpopulated. You should split it in two. You might be right. There are mad gods on this bitch. You want to see me drop another tier? Alright. Add a row below. God of Pokemon. What should I call it in between? S rank and God of Pokemon. What should it be? The demigods of Pokemon. Alright, I'm gonna do... The tier should be Radio Shack BBQ Ribs. You about to die. Alright. Triple Ubers is a brilliant one. I like that. Triple Ubers. Too bad I don't have the right color to put, but whatever. Oh, what the fuck? Fuck! Why is that shit blue and this shit is green? Let me just make this shit red. Alright. So was this supposed to be God of Pokemon? Right? And then this will be Triple Ubers. Alright. I'm putting all these down. I think Xern has the potential to be... I think Xern has the potential to still stay in this shit. Ho-Oh is also getting overly glazed by me, I'm not gonna lie. Also, Mirai being up here is literally only because it got banned. If it didn't get banned, I would have put bro right here next to his mans because he's a 1. Yo, you know what? No, I'm putting Miraidon right here because he's a 1-gen wonder. I don't care if he got banned. I don't care. It wasn't enough. My guys found that voting to be inconclusive, actually. So... Mirai hasn't put in enough hours. There hasn't been enough. We need more. We need to see more. It's only been 3 years. In the fake metagame known as Gen 9. Sorry to say. So, I gotta put bro up here. I'm still showing a lot of respect. It's just been 1 gen. I'm not gonna lie though. If I think forward, I'm really thinking about this. I'm not just trolling, moving it back and forth. If I think forward to the next generation, nothing is going to change. This is still going to be one of the best Pokemon. But we're not here for that projection. Cali got to go down? Oh, you're bugging. Calyrex Shadow is the GOAT. That 150 speed moves mountains. His ass is staying at the God of Pokemon. Alright, I got all 4 forms here. Now... Sorry for the white background. I know bro looking mad out of place, but I don't know what to do with Deoxys. And I'm a Deoxys fan. I love Deoxys. I always wanted to make Deoxys worthwhile. I think this thing is pretty damn good. I use Gen 9. I use a Deoxys attack a lot. I have 2 teams. I have a Boots Deoxys attack and I have a Sash Deoxys attack. Boots is good for anti-webs. That's why it's Boots. I think this Pokemon's pretty sick, personally. This was one of the craziest mons ever. I gotta really think back to like Gen 4 Ubers viability. Does that even exist? Do they even have a rank for that? Deoxys was like pretty solid in Gen 5. And Gen 6, it was also really good. I'd say in Gen 6, it was better than it was in Gen 5. Deoxys attack has never been bad. There's been times when it's like average, but it has never been a bad Pokemon. It's just you get what you put in with Deoxys. If Deoxys is ass, you were probably playing ass and got no attacks off. Anyways, Deoxys attack is by far the leader of the 3. Speed is great, but we all know attack is the GOAT. So, I don't know where to put bro. I'm about to put bro in S rank because I'm like a pretty big fan of him. I'm not gonna hold you, but he might be lower than Lunala. I don't know. It's for sure S rank though, I think. Shit, not in the Necrosma Duskmane. I might be giving it too much praise, but the reason I have Necrozma Duskmane this high is because this mon has never let me down, and I've lost to this Pokemon a good amount of times. This shit's a Giga Noob killer, because you can't kill it. The typing is too fucking troll. Remember the triple battle video where you, Joe, and CTC claimed 3 turn 1 with base Deoxys? Respect the OG. The fact that Expanding Force did 300% in 1 turn does give an argument to this thing being the god of Pokemon. I guess for the strongest turn of Pokemon ever seen, this is the greatest Pokemon ever. If we do go back and take a look at that triples battle, you're not wrong. Shout out to Claw for bringing up this important information. If we do go back and look at that one single turn, that was the greatest, most powerful, most aura farming turn we've ever seen out of Pokemon. So, shit's up there. Anyway, Deoxys is kind of back in form in Gen 9, in my opinion. I think that shit's pretty damn good. Gen 5 and 6, it was... What is this guy's life in Gen 6? I think he's very good in Gen 6. I think Gen 7 is when he stops being as viable. But I've always had pretty good success with this piece of shit in Gen 9. Attack. Speed is also used. I have a couple of Deoxys speed teams because hazard leads are so important, but... How is Mewtwo and Heat tough, but... Mewtwo's actually trash. Besides, it's Gen 1. It's Gen 1. I might have been too hard on Mewtwo. Some of these guys I'm glazing too much. Let's see. This guy might need to be in Heat tough. My personal biases are allowing this guy to live farther than he should be. And then Mewtwo is still pretty valid in Gen 7. Gen 6 Mewtwo Y is like okay. It's not bad, but it's just okay. Mewtwo's always on some bullshit. I gotta put Mewtwo right here. I was hating. In fact, I might have to put him at the ass end of S rank, if I'm being honest. As for Deoxys, I'm about to put Deoxys right here. I love Deoxys, but... But this shit's better than Palkia's lame ass. Maybe here then. Deoxys attack is really good. But... Alright, I'm gonna put Mewtwo at the ass rank of S rank. I think I'm satisfied with this. Or it's gonna be this. These two are like the same shit. This guy's better than Mewtwo. And I love Mewtwo. Anyways, I don't know where to put Rai. I don't know where to put Rai. Rai was really good in Gen 6, but that's where he fell off. So we gotta put him in He's Tough, but we'll put bro like right here. I fucking hate playing against Calyrex Ice. This thing is very, very annoying to face. Calyrex Shadow is obviously more frustrating, but you can't sleep on Ice. Funny enough, this thing is good in Gen 9, but in Gen 8, he was not really that crazy, so we might have to put him in He's Tough, but because he not even... Like, he only... In his debut gen, he was not good, which is embarrassing. And then in Gen 9, he's really busted, but it's because he turns into a fire type and has boots. So I don't know about Calyrex, but But you can auto lose to weakness policy Calyrex any day of the week. if you're dumb. What should we put? What should we put, bro? I think his ass is like right here. That brother not doing nothing in singles. I mean, in Gen 9 Ubers, it is a really good Pokemon, but that's that one generation of movement. Yep, I'm putting bro right here. I guess Rai is using that Gen 6. And Rai is never going to be viable again the way it was back in the day. Calyrex, we can look to the future and see that it will continue to be viable because of the tools it has. Yeah. Like, these two are washed for life. You know what I mean? But you can know that some Pokemon will get better or will stay good. But some of these guys are washed. Like, they won't revive. That's just the reality of things. Shaymin-Sky. Nobody fucking uses Shaymin-Sky in Ubers. Because you got to go for that air/flinch for it to be viable. And they just go Ho-Oh with Leech Seed. And regen it all off. Is this Mon Dix? Is it over? I have never seen a Shaymin used in an Ubers tournament. So that shit might be 2 dicks. Shit might be here. Eternatus. Clearly Eternatus isn't a cover legendary, but I love Eternatus, so I threw it on there. In Gen 9, Eternatus is a top 5 Pokemon for me, personally. I guess it depends on who you ask, but guy's incredible. Gen 8, it's also very, very fucking good. I think Eternatus would have to be in triple Ubers given its performance the last 2 generations. I got no reason to believe that this thing will not go on to be another high-ranking member of the Ubers tier. I got no reason to believe it won't be. It's top 3 in, it might be better than this guy, because this guy is kind of hard to quantify. I got no reason to believe Eternatus is not going to run the game in the next Ubers. I know he only been around for 2 gens, but he's really like that. Like, Groudon I got here because he only leads 1 gen. But Eternatus is actually busted. Like, he's like one of them low-key, high-key busted. Because Gen 8, he's top 3. And then Gen 9, he's top 5. That type of consistency is crazy. Like, Groudon's top 2, yes. But, you know what I'm saying? What's it called? Eternatus has been around a little bit longer. Groudon is only owned by the fact that he's... Alright, I'll put Groudon right here. Or maybe I'll have to put him in triple Ubers, if I'm being... Even if Groudon only did get 1 gen like that, it's gonna be busted next generation still. So... And he's the best Ubers Pokemon left in the gen, now that Miraidon's banned. So I'll put him here. I think it's only fair. Alright. Arceus. Arceus is going into God of Pokemon, because even if that shit is not ban-worthy... I don't care. Arceus is the best. Because I said so. I'm not even going to hold you, though. Arceus is pretty weird. And Gen 8 Ubers not having Arceus was kind of strange. But Arceus, no matter which Arceus, one of them is always going to be top 5 in this bitch. Oh, yeah, it's banned in Gen 4. You guys did tell me that. How are you putting Mewtwo in the same rank as Necrozma Duskmane? You right, low-key. Necrozma Duskmane is way better than Mewtwo, but whatever. Let's see. This guy owns Ubers. Gen 9 was the most heinous. The most heinous thing to deal with. Yeah. And then Gengar. I only put Gengar because I felt bad about Gengar being banned. Even though, of course, Gengar's not on the cover of any games. Gengar was really amazing, though. XYOU, and Sun and Moon. I mean, not OU. Fucking XY Ubers. Encore Gengar might end up being banned. Encore Mega Gengar might end up honestly being banned from Generation 10 Ubers or whatever. You know? It could really happen. Shaymin is not better than Solgaleo. You're probably right, bro. I just put that here to troll. Put that shit right here. Where should I put Gengar? Pikachu and Eevee? You already know Pikachu and Eevee would have had their own tier. Isn't Shaymin good at Gen 5? Let me put that shit back. Stop glazing Solgaleo. No one's ever brought that to a Ubers battle. Bring that shit to a tournament battle and then tell me that Shaymin's really moving like that. Skyman is better than Genesect? Cap. Yo, I'm putting this guy in triple Ubers. If you know, you know. Anyways, here's my list. It's definitely terrible, but we had to get to the bottom of this, and we got to the bottom of this. This is the objective, best cover legendary, competitive, but also with some slight bias and historical bias, etc. tier list ranking of all time. A lot of you want me to put Groudon higher up. You're right. Groudon could technically be up there. The only difference between Groudon and Miraidon is that Miraidon ended up actually getting banned. If the ban was unsuccessful, I voted do not ban on Groudon, but unfortunately, it got banned. They had to give it 2 attempts to ban it, though, which is begging the vote and definitely elite. That's what I'm saying. This shit's like a sus ban. But anyways, yeah. I gotta give it the buff. I can't hear you. I'm behind a sub, pressure stalling your air slashes. There's some other guys you can put up. Like Zygarde Complete might be triple Ubers. Historically, that thing has put in way too much work. So you can probably move that shit up. And then Gengar might end up getting banned from Ubers because it has Encore now. So putting Pidon over Groudon is some supreme hater shit. What are you talking about? The opposite would be hater shit. Groudon is really like that, bro. Please. Please don't forget who Groudon was. Do you guys think Gengar's gonna get banned? I think it's gonna get banned. I don't see how Shadow Tag Encore is not broken. If you ever click a move that's not an attacking move that hits Gengar, and they hard switch in, you lose the game, right? So there's no way out. There's no way out. There's no possibility of this shit being balanced. You automatically lose the game if you don't go for an attack that can always kill Gengar or damage Gengar. Yeah. You just lose. Yeah, like Arceus, if it ever clicks recover, you just lose the game. Because Gengar would come in on the recover, Encore, +6, and then you lose. This shit's not gonna come back. But in any case, it's gonna be God of Pokemon level. Like, it's gonna be like here. If Encore returns. So you think its ability will be changed? I haven't subscribed to the idea that old Legends abilities are getting changed. I'm not against it. I don't want Sharpness Gallade like a lot of y'all want. Mega Sharp. I'm not a hater or nothing, just I already think Mega Gallade's a good Pokemon, so I don't want them to give it that crazy ass ability. I want them to fix real shit abilities. Like Mega Ampharos doesn't have a real ability. So that needs to be, well, that thing needs a lot of fixes, but I digress. I think they're not going to go back and change it, because they don't... They do sometimes go back and change old mons, but it really feels like it's random, the way they decide to do it. And I feel like Megas are just something they're going to keep the way they are. I don't have any, like, history to back that, but I just feel like Megas are like some very like set in stone type thing. But who knows? I'm not going to be mad if they do change it. And also Mega Dragonite is getting healer. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my bullshit list. It's only 80% real. 20% has to be my bias. Otherwise, Reshiram would be an absolute dicks. But I hope I gave you all something to consider. I will be streaming tomorrow in the morning at like 9 a.m. Eastern, because that's when the, what's it called, is happening, the XY Dimensions info. And I'm sure we're going to get new megas, so tap in for that. Next tournament is either going to be Friday or Saturday. So be on the lookout for that. But I'll make a community post and all that other stuff. Alright.